Before we get into the recap, Joy Borrero, I heard you got some T-shirts. Talk to me about those T-shirts.
Well, yeah, I got a True Victory clothing line. You guys can click on my bio, click on my link, and you guys can definitely check them out. We got a lot of good working out gear. It's mainly for going outside looking stylish, but we also have leggings. We have different things for people to work out with. So go ahead and check out the Joy Borrero clothing line, the True Victory.
Sounds good. I'll definitely check it out. Yeah, I guess I'm not the only one selling boxing merchandise. Check out my boxing memorabilia. I got a lot of it for
Heck
sale.
yeah. No, he does, man. He's freaking. He got a whole bunch of pictures, autograph posters, all that by the best too. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah. But the one thing I don't sell, and I tell everyone, is anything that I got signed from Tito. It's not for sale. So let's do this recap. This past weekend, there was quite a few Puerto Ricans.
hmm
So I want to get your thoughts, both of you guys, what you thought about. Let's start off with Juanmita Lopez de Jesus, uh, the son of Juanma Lopez. Uh,
Yeah.
what your thoughts? What do you guys think about this kid?
I mean, he's a good boxer. Ever since the amateurs, he's a good boxer. Has he been tested yet? I don't know. The last fight he had against another Puerto Rican under Universal Promotions, he had quite a struggle. But in this fight, he made it look easy. Um, he's not a power puncher, but he's a good boxer that wherever he places his power, he can drop you. He's really technical. He's a technically sound fighter. That's what I gotta give him credit for. Can he be better than his father? Definitely, I believe he can. Because his father at the time, people don't know, Juanma was going through a lot of problems. Salió de la vida del caserío, which people know it's when the caseríos from Puerto Rico, you're either selling drugs, you're killing people, or you're witnessing that stuff, and it's not a good environment to be training around because you always have negative influences around you.
I know from experience.
Yeah, it's crazy. I heard stories, and the last time I spoke to Juanma Lopez, it's been a while, but he sent me a picture of Juanita, and he sent me a picture of his daughter, and he told me the same thing. He said, you know, um, unfortunately, with his career, he could have done better. I said, Juanma Lopez, you did really good. And he said, no, you should look out for Juanita and you should look out for my daughter. He said that his kids have been doing really good. So
Yeah.
That's awesome.
let's see what happens with Juanita. But I feel like I still got to see more of Juanita. But that power comes from his father, I guess, right? He does have some power.
He has some pop, but it's different types of pop. So you got like pop like me or my uncle, which is a one hitter quitter where we hit you real hard and you're done. You got power like, accurate power like Jorge Linares. Jorge Linares is somebody that I sparred. He never really hurt me with a one thumb punch, but he just would hit me so much and be so accurate with his punches precise that sometimes he would stun me, but it would take a lot for it. And then you got your boxer punchers, which is that guys that can box, but they can hit. They also have that one punch hitting power. And
Yeah.
then you got those rare fighters like Wilder, which whatever they hit you with is gonna hurt.
Mhm. It's funny you mentioned Wilder because I was just about to say Wilder is that type of guy that once he hits you, he was gonna hurt you. So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, let's wait and see with Juanita. Let's see. Let's wait and see. It's still a little early, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still a little early. And speaking of his father, Juanma Lopez, I felt like he had a lot of skills, but he was in love with his power. He just
Took a
fell in
lot
love.
of punishment because of it.
Yep.
You talk to him now when you can tell he's punch drunk. You know what I mean? And I've met him in person, talked to him, but he's pretty punch drunk, from getting into a lot of fights. Ben Tomi Dame, and that's one thing my uncle hates about my style because that's the type of style that I have too. And it's not a good style because it doesn't promote a long career long term. So that's what we're trying to switch.
That's what we're doing. Yeah,
Yeah,
switch.
yeah. I love that style, but um, yeah, it's crazy how things happen. I have to go back to Juanma Lopez when he lost to Salido in Puerto Rico. I felt like Juanma Lopez could have beat Salido if he would have boxed him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You can't brawl a brawler. You can't
yeah,
fight the fight of somebody that knows how to fight. It's like if you box a boxer, you gotta know how to box a boxer because it's different. You can box a boxer; it's not impossible. But a brawler is harder because they're used to fighting inside. Those close quarters, and they throw in volume. You can't be a fighter that just throws one or two punches and expect to beat a fighter that's throwing five or six.
yeah. Well, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens. And it's good that you're, switching your style. It's good because it helps. It helps. In boxing, there's always something to learn, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
always learning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
you gotta use it.
what about Zayas?
Doctor is empty, so
Zayas, your thoughts on Zayas?
Not impressive enough. He won the fight, but I don't think he won in an impressive manner. You can't take away that he did earn the world title. Now, given to that though, he wasn't as impressive as we all thought he was gonna be. He fought against an awkward style fighter, taller fighter, and the way that fighter fights similar to Fundora. So I don't think Zayas should jump right into a title defense against Fundora. I feel like he has to be a little bit more technically sound and then go to that fight because we saw a lot of holding by
got it.
Xander. Yeah, there was too
Yeah,
much holding.
yeah. I thought Xander Zayas did good. I just don't know if he's ready for Fundura because we just saw Fundura take out Tim Zoo, you know, and I was shocked because I thought that Tim Zoo was gonna win that rematch.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna win the rematch too, and he started beating him, but they threw in the towel. His own corner stopped him from going out. So that's what I didn't understand. He was on the up right there
Yeah,
on the sixth round, going into the sixth round, and then they stopped him.
yeah. What were your thoughts, Fresno Kendo? What were your thoughts when that fight got stopped?
You know what? People don't understand, man. Even though on TV those punches don't look that menacing or that thumping, but only a fighter knows that you can only take so much, and you're going another fight with a fighter that they had a blood fest. Those those take a lot of out of you. It's a lot of effects not only to the mind body, but to the soul of his boxing career. So sometimes his corner have to do what's right for him, for him to live another day, to fight another day, or to retire unscathed. Not unscathed, but seriously injured. They prevented that, and it was a I guess the right thing for a loved one.
Mhm. Yeah, but I have to agree with Joy Borrero saying that Tim Zoo was winning at that point. I felt like Tim Zoo was winning at that point, right? And then all of a sudden that fight gets stopped.
Yeah, it was a couple of punches and bunches, accumulations of punches. You know, it. like I said, the corner, you know, just want to save him from any further injuries. I mean, it's not like he was getting bombarded. You know, I understand that, but he did take a lot of punches. You know, it's just hard to get in a guy with that range. You know, he had to work extra. But I mean, if he could have, gone, without have to stop the fight. I mean, more power to him. But his own people just thought that was the best thing for him, not to get hurt anymore.
Yeah. Speaking of this stoppage, I forgot to ask you guys about Juanmita stopping his opponent. I've been hearing a lot of criticism regarding that stoppage. That it was premature.
In all honesty, the fighter could have got up and fought again, but he was outclassed. What was in that point? What was the point of letting the fight continue? You know what I mean? It was like he was outclassed. There was no reason for him to continue. If you're outmatched to that point where it's that bad of a outclass of a fight, might as well stop it because he's gonna get hurt even worse. Now it's different if the fighter's putting up a fight,
Right.
and he gets dropped and he can get back up and
Right.
he's new. You know what I mean? But there's no reason to let that continue.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it was the right stoppage, even though it looked premature. But Juanita's opponent had gone down like three times, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, so going back to Zayas, there's also a possibility that in the future, we just never know. Anything can happen. Maybe we'll see him against Tim Zoo.
That would be a good matchup. I feel like that would be the safer route for him to go. But the thing is, Tim Su is not in contender status right now. After that loss against Fundora, he's not in contender status. When you're done, come and get it.
Yeah.
Right there.
But now that Sayas won that WBO world title, he's got a mark on his head. It's going to be tough, right? Like,
He needs to stay away from Virgil Ortiz because Virgil, that fight he won, and he was willing to take it with Virgil Ortiz. And at the time, we didn't know what he could do. But now that we saw him at a world title stage, I don't think he's ready for a Virgil Ortiz yet.
oh, you don't think he's ready for Virgil Ortiz, eh?
I don't think so. I don't think he's ready for a Virgil Ortiz yet. Because you guys, a lot of people think Virgil is a one-trick pony. Virgil knows how to box, and Virgil's a pretty good boxer. You know, he's for sure he's a brawler, more of a brawler than a boxer. But when he needs to box, he knows how to box, and he's not one-dimensional either.
But it's an interesting matchup, though. Now that you mention it, it will be an interesting matchup.
It would definitely sell because of that Puerto
Puerto
Rican.
Rico Mexico war,
Yeah,
man.
that's right. That's right. So I think it would be a good fight. I would have to pick Zayas over Ortiz. I haven't really been impressed with Ortiz. I don't know. I just
Who did he find his last fight? Ortiz.
it was some European. What's his last name again? It was
Was he having problems with that fighter in the fight?
A little bit. It was a little bit of, but I think it was because of the layoff. He had a layoff for a
Oh,
while.
okay, yeah, I seen it. He was having a little problem there, but he edged him out. Yeah, it was a close. It was a tough fight, but he edged him out. Yeah,
yeah,
tough.
it sure was. So um, we'll see what happens. Uh, everyone's saying that Puerto Ricans are not doing as well, but I think
I
Sayas.
know. I know, man. I don't know. They're saying Puerto Ricans are doing as well, man. Hey, they haven't came up to me. They haven't mentioned my name out there. So you can bring them all. I'll take whichever one. Teofimo, Devin Haney. I know I got to build more of a name for them to draw them out, but eventually they're gonna have to come my way. You know what I mean? They need. a different perspective, different look in what Puerto Rican boxing is. Because right now, you could say a little bit that Puerto Rican boxing is not what it used to be back in the 1990s or back in the early 2000s. But we're in a new era. We in the 2020s, and it's my era. So let's go.
So I gotta ask you then about Emiliano
Ooh.
Fernando Vargas.
I've been wanting that fight for a while, and now that he's moved up to super lightweight, hey, we can make it happen. Who doesn't want to watch the Trinidad Vargas number two, second generation? I say Vargas Dynasty versus the Trinidad Legacy. Let's make it happen.
What do you say? What do you say with Teddy Atlas? I just saw his podcast, and he made a comment about Emiliano Fernando Vargas. He made a comment about that fight, saying that that opponent uh, he threw himself on the canvas. That a lot of boxing fans are saying that that opponent threw himself on the canvas. He took pretty much a dive.
I don't know. I think the punch landed real clean. It was right on the equilibrium. And when you land on somebody's equilibrium, it's real hard to get back up, because you don't got no balance.
You gotta remember, majority of the fans, they really don't, a punch that could, like he just said, knock his equilibrium out. Those punches may not look devastating, but those are the punches that, knock you out. But the fans won't know that because they don't know the in depths of what Joy just said, which is accurate.
Well, Teddy Atlas also said that this opponent had about three losses, so he wasn't really impressed with Vargas because of his opponent's record and
I
because
mean, it's
yeah.
what they're doing. They're building them up. They Top Rank's doing the right thing. They're building them up, giving them easy fights, giving them opponents with less that are gonna give him less trouble, so that he can get his experience, make a name for him. And then what are they gonna do? Once they build him, they're gonna use him as a cash cow, milk him for the money. Because at the end of the day, you gotta remember it's a business. These promoters, they build you up, they invest money into you. But if they invest $1 million, they're expecting to at least get back 20. If they invest 100,000, they at least want to get 2 million off of you.
And the fighter that he fought, he was from Ecuador, correct?
Yes.
A seasoned veteran. Um, you know, I mean, I was impressed with Emilio because the guy, I heard what his record was a decent, was a good record. It wasn't like he was a bum, a guy bum of the month they just found in the alley or something. The guy came, to fight, but he did get caught with a punch that surprised him. I mean, it was to me, it
It was
was,
accurate. It
it
was
was
nice
accurate.
place. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
the
was
right place
nicely
at the right
placed.
time.
Hey, speaking of Ecuador, I sometimes hear boxing fans saying, "Oh, Ecuador doesn't have any good boxing," but let's not forget uh, Bernard Hopkins. He got dropped a long time ago from a fighter from Ecuador.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. Speaking of the Ecuadorian, the black boy who was Ecuadorian, it was a rough and soccer fight. That was very iconic. That guy
Eh,
made a name for his country. What was his
uh,
name again?
Segundo Mercado.
Yes, Segundo Mercado. Yes, yes. I'll never forget that fight. Yes, he brought it to Hopkins. But Marcus had to dig deep. Hopkins had to dig super deep in order to get
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I actually ran into Hopkins one time, and I said I did mention Segundo Mercado to him, and he just laughed. He looked at me. He laughed. Uh, he 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 won't forget Segundo Mercado.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
Oh boy, but yeah, I mean anything can happen. So hopefully, Joey Borrero, hopefully, Vargas, his kids, one of his kids at least.
One of them, hey, so far Two of them have been saying, "Oh, you need more clout, this and that," giving excuses why they don't want to fight. Emiliano's the only one that I can give respect to because he hasn't replied yet. But hey, if I gotta work my way to where he's at and win a small belt like he does, then hey, we'll make it happen. You know what I mean? Money talks. At the end of the day, that's what they're looking for. You know, and well, like it says, history repeats itself. So
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I thought I once heard the same thing with Haney and Ryan Garcia. Uh, this was before they fought, and Haney said to Ryan Garcia that he didn't have no followers, and then when they met, we saw what happened.
4 years ago.
We saw the outcome.
yeah.
So you have to keep us posted with your next fight then.
Oh yeah, there's something big in the works. Can't really say much. What I can say is expect by September, before September actually, an announcement for a world title fight. That's all I can say.
Amen.
All right, yeah. Then Puerto Rico will have another world champion.
Yes,
Amen.
sir. Yes, sir.
So let's see what happens. And before I forget, I gotta say to you, I gotta ask you guys what you guys think about Saya saying that he's Zayas and he doesn't want to be asked about like, oh, are you going to be the next Cotto, or are you going to be the next Tito? He's saying pretty much the same thing that Miguel Cotto said when HBO was promoting Miguel Cotto and Tito was on his way out. you know um Miguel Cotto said the same thing. I'm Miguel Cotto, I'm not Tito, and now Saya is saying the same thing. Uh, at the time when HBO was trying to promote Miguel Cotto, who was just coming in, I remember there was quite a few boxing fans that were upset when they heard Cotto make that comment, and now that Saya is saying the same thing, what do you guys say to that? What do you guys think about that?
I mean, I can't criticize him. He's doing the right thing. It's like Wilfredo Vasquez Jr. I was talking to him and he told me the same thing. Look, you're Joey. You're not gonna be Trito. You're not gonna be Fresh. You know, you gotta be you. You gotta make your own name. He's like, I'm Wilfredo Vasquez Jr. Everybody expected me and wanted me to be like my dad. But I couldn't fill my dad's shoes. Now I gave it all I could, trained hard, fought the best, won a world title in the process, but I didn't live up to the name because you're putting that weight on yourself. You're carrying that weight. That's unnecessary burden. You know, and it's true. You know, I come to understand I represent my family line, but it doesn't mean I'm going to fight just like my uncle. You know, I have my own style, and I respect what Xander Zayas says. You know, because at the end of the day, people don't understand that's unnecessary weight, unnecessary baggage that you're gonna have to carry.
Agreed.
Yeah, yeah. No, I feel like it's no disrespect, but you're Joy Borrero, Sayas is Sayas, and it is what it is. Uh, it's the same thing like when you Fres Oquendo, when you were fighting, you
Yep.
were you were fast Fres Oquendo,
Exactly.
and
Yep. That's the only one.
the only one. So it is what it is. But unfortunately, there's a lot of boxing fans that take it the wrong way and get
Yeah.
upset. So I guess we'll leave it at that, and we'll see what's next, which fights are coming up, and
Yeah.
we'll talk again.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But I appreciate you guys coming on once again.
Likewise.
Thank you for having us,
Yep.
man. You already
Yep.
know, Ivan.
Yep.
Puerto Rican boxing is still alive.
Amen.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Better
sir.
than ever.
And it's gonna bring a
And
couple
then you
big
got him.
things. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. I'm the one flying under the radar. That's all it is.
you know, you gotta love Puerto Rican boxing because that island is so small, but it's had so many great
Yes.
fighters.
Yep.
Yes.
Uh, all right, guys, so I'll let you go. Thanks again, once again.
Thank you, my
All right,
brother.
Ivan. Have a blessed night, man. Thank you for having us.
God bless you.